This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Christmas celebrations well underway in country. Intoxicated patients seeking medical assistance to be charged fees for treatment. An NCD Governor's Cup launched in Port Moresby. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Police from the Northern Command have been sent to Medang and are ready to go to Raikost district to hunt down the members of the infamous Hetwara gang. This follows a gunfight between members of the Hetwara gang and police along the Medang-Ramu highway a week ago, resulting in a policeman being shot by the gang members. Assistant Commissioner of Police Northern Region Peter Guinness says funding has been made available for this operation and personnel have been sent to Raikost district.
With the recent law and order brewing in Medang, police personnel from the Northern Command sent there will not only target the Hetwara gang, but will help in curbing law and order issues throughout the province. Assistant Commissioner of Police in the Northern Region, Peter Guinness, confirmed that funding has been made available for this operation and police personnel are already in the province to commence the festive operations. The Northern Command police personnel will further assist in the manhunt for members of the Hetwara gang who are responsible for most of the serious crimes committed in the province. Meanwhile, ACP Guinness assured the travelling public along the section of the Okuk Highway from Ramu to Medang that police are now stationed at various locations along the highway. Meanwhile, Mobile Squad 13 will be patrolling the highway backed by Ramu Police. ACP Peter Guinness has appealed to everyone to refrain from causing trouble and said police will be out in full force in the Medang province and throughout the whole of the Northern Command. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Intoxicated patients seeking medical assistance will be charged with fees for treatment at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Port Moresby General Hospital Chief Executive Officer Dr. Paki Molumi said these are some of the measures the hospital will be taking on board next year to minimize abuse and violence caused by intoxicated people entering the emergency department.
It has been prevalent over the years that staff at the emergency department at the Port Moresby General Hospital many times have been abused verbally and physically by intoxicated or drunkards seeking medical assistance.
Intoxicated persons coming into the emergency department, abusing the staff verbally, supposed physically. That's putting more stress on our already stressed staff. So we've got to take on some measures so that the public can take on responsibility. Obviously, we're looking at putting in some fees.
Dr. Molumi highlighted that the fees charge will go before the board for approval and will come into effect next year.
The introduction of fees goes through the board, and there are processes that we need to get approval before we introduce the fees. So management is looking at those options. Once it goes through the process, probably by next year, we should be able to put in some fees, so that those who are under influence of alcohol and cause damage to properties. This is just to prevent drunkards coming into the emergency department, abusing our staff and properties at the emergency department.
In the meantime, residents have been urged to celebrate and observe the festive season responsibly. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
NCD Governor Powes Pakop is currently receiving treatment in Australia soon after he was rushed to Port Moresby General Hospital yesterday. According to a statement released by the family, he has suffered from stomach complications earlier during the week. The statement clarified that upon recommendation from Pacific International Hospital, Governor Pakop was transported to Australia to help in his recovery. According to the statement released by the family, Mr. Pakop has been stabilized and is recovering. The family has asked that family privacy be respected at all times. The Independent Consumer Competition Commission has made a declaration in a statement released yesterday that they will not oppose the proposed share acquisition and restructure of Digitech ICT Limited, of which the proposed transaction involved an indirect transaction of 49% shares owned by the Austel Investment to Vodafone Fiji, who has an existing share of 51%.
According to the ICCC Commissioner and CEO Paul Yassine, the ICCC will not intervene in the proposed transactions and restructure in the share of ownership of Digitech. Commissioner Hines stated that ICCC, after assessing all the available information, considered the proposed transactions does not meet any of the mandatory notification thresholds stipulated under Section 8, subsection 1 of the ICCC Act. Mr. Hines said the transaction is also not likely to have any serious competition issues in any relevant markets that Digitech operates in. Commissioner Hines also encouraged businesses in the country to inform and discuss with ICCC on any similar transactions before proceeding any further. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The Universal Church of Papua New Guinea served more than 300 homeless and less fortunate people on the streets of Port Moresby with food, clothing and sharing the Word of God with them as Christmas gifts. This program happened today at the Universal Church at Gordon's in Port Moresby.
The pastor for the Universal Church of PNG, Jonathan Pine, said this church was established in 2018, aimed at serving people in need not only spiritually but in all aspects of life. He said the event is purposely to help those who are homeless and needy during Christmas, as this is one of their programs in the Universal Church, which they do every month to bring those who are lost to know God and to be saved.
Because many of these people that you see here behind us, they are homeless. They are sleeping in the canals. They don't have a home. They are sleeping on the streets. And some of them are not going to have a nice meal for this Christmas. So we as a church, the members of the church decided to do this event. We come together to do this event to provide for them a nice moment where they're going to be enjoying some food, where they're going to be receiving clothes, where they're going to be participating in some prayers as well.
Pastor Jonathan Pine said their church members go out to the streets and invite those homeless people who are struggling on the streets to come for this unisocial event. About 315 people were given clothes, a meal and sent off with food as well. The pastor said as a church, their main goal behind this program is to help those who are involved in unethical behaviors to change their lives, believe in God, and have a good life.
As a church, our main objective behind this program is to do what Jesus did. He said, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was in prison and you came to me. I was sick and you visited me. Not only we do this to offer food to people, but this past week we were in the hospital with our group. We go and visit people in the hospital. We are trying to get into prisons. Our main goal is to do what Jesus said to be done, to help those who are in need, not just physically, but especially, which the main goal of the church is to show people that no matter how despised, how suffering, how lost they are, God has chosen them and He can save their soul. He can help them.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, as most of the people working and residing in the nation's capital are leaving for Christmas break to their respective homes, some are still roaming around the streets looking for money and food to sustain their daily living. The Universal Church of Papua New Guinea organized a Christmas donation drive to help the less fortunate. An open invitation was sent out and people came around to the church grounds today to be blessed with Christmas gifts.
26-year-old Ronald George Kami from Chimbu Province, who is a street vendor at 5 Mile, said he lived in Port Moresby for more than 20 years. He said he spent all these years on the street doing sales, and these Christmas gifts from the church means a lot to him.
Just I want to plan the Turangulo street now, but Mama Guinea. But one Christmas time was online. Got family, all thing family now. Good line also all family involved. People street man Maria must me play how me play stop, me play take us a normal dinner blast up. But exceptional it's like Christmas now. Some all denomination or some all come, bringing all family or street. So let me think, me must change. Then I can stop or that's all.
A Universal Church member, Fan David, also shared his experiences that he was once a thief at the Kaugere area, but he is different now when he joined the church.
You talk lo drug, you talk lo ombru, you talk lo beer, you talk one against me go through, even still to me go inside. Look at some life and mad, you know, think of some life and missy. Because time you talk some life and hard and you in trouble, even as the life, even die now is the ground. So we said by same life, you limit to blow the ground now, I'm serious to solve.
Another female church helper, Janet Koivi, also shared her testimony. She said she went through a lot with so many issues, including family problems, but everything changed when she was called from the streets to join the church.
Since coming to this Universal Church, I've been started 2017 and I attended since 2018. My life was not good. Life me and bagger up life. Me was messed in financial, in my marriage life. Even I was so addicted. Chewing, even one boy, me and my husband used to fight with that boy.
Another street vendor at East Boroko, Jonah Simon, said this is the only Christmas gift that he had received from the church and he is happy.
After me bin market stab na ombla sister bin kam na toksa le mi sem samda lilik or give away one me mol sets bag game so. Nam now mi lo boom na kam game leta na mi lo kam na chief samda lilik ke na board na sem mina tok thank you sem Christmas na al samdo mano lama masa side na board but mi lo pikinini outside the street na board mi lo stab na samda lilik all present all sets have been provided so.
Estagane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. The small township of Kainantu came alive as of yesterday with a small to medium enterprise expo. The SME expo started yesterday with SMEs showcasing a wide range of arts and crafts, floriculture, balloons and many more. This expo was proudly funded by the Kainantu mine to help small SME in the district sell their products. It ended today.
The local people, residents and surrounding communities all turned up since yesterday to participate in this first of its kind SME Expo. A total of 22 eager SME groups and participants, mostly youths, took the opportunity to display and sell their products. With funding support of 6,500 kina from the Kainantu mine for this expo, the mine's project coordinator, Ovex Jaimaka, said Kainantu mine has spent over 1.2 million kina in supporting community projects in Kainantu and Eastern Highlands province under its supporting community obligation. Mr. Jaimaka further assured Kainantu SME that the mine will continue to support their plans for another bigger and better expo come next year and onwards. The Eastern Highlands Provincial Government also showed their support towards the SME Expo by giving 5,000 kina through its Provincial SME Coordinator, Osborne Soso. Mr. Soso encouraged the youth to tap into this promising sector. According to the facilitator and Kainantu SME Coordinator, Yvonne Baru, they plan to make this an annual event in Kainantu town. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Shoppers of the Rangeview Plaza can now have access to sightseeing of cultural and local contemporary paintings and designs thanks to Amako Art Gallery. The team is spearheaded by Amako Art Gallery founder Warren Vayan. The exhibition will run for 2 days starting today. The aim of this exhibition is to showcase culture and local contemporary paintings in this festive season.
Local artist by the name of Warren Veyane is carrying out a Christmas art gallery exhibition at the Rangeview Plaza shopping mall. There are a total of 200 paintings done by 50 artists, which is out for display as of today. The paintings are inspired through a variety of painting techniques such as primitive art, portraits, to graffiti and abstract art.
As what I've mentioned earlier on, we have a total of 200 paintings done by 50 artists, and as you can see here, the paintings come in different sizes and different techniques. Some of the techniques are more like primitive art or graffiti. We don't want to lose the cultural style techniques that our ancestors use.
Out of the 50-plus artists displaying their paintings today, a female artist, Dominica Curena, is also exhibiting her paintings. She goes by Migili Buna in the world of painting.
And I started painting in the year 2020 when I was contracted with the CPL group of companies under Ratus Art Gallery. And from then on, I attended 2 exhibitions. The national exhibitions last year was the first for Papua New Guinea, and the second was this year. So yeah, that's how far I've gone.
The paintings are being sold for as low as 100 kina up to a maximum of 15,000 kina. This initiative is aimed at exposing our culture through painting and designs during this festive season. Lisa Puni, National EMTV News.
A music festival to celebrate Christmas saw some of PNG's top musicians sing some of their top singles as fans watched. Present on the stage to entertain those gathered were musicians Tavin Tuni, Kronos and Mal Maninga Kuri. For the first time, several well-recognized artists in the country came together to celebrate the spirit of Christmas through music. A representative of the organizing committee, Jerry Puaria, said the idea behind hosting the music festival and having some of PNG's singing sensations was to bring families together and their loved ones to celebrate Christmas.
Today is all about bringing everyone together. Our aim was to make you year-end event is year-end music festival. The artists performing today are Tavin Tuni himself, Young David from Solomon Islands, Malmeninga Kuri, and Stagaja Band. Yeah.
Artists present to sing and entertain their fans and those that gathered to watch the music festival were Tavin Tuni, Kronos and Malmaninga Kuri, all playing their top songs. For Malmaninga Kuri, who is already thinking 2023 and looking forward to releasing a new single, a collaboration with an international artist and an international tour to Australia and New Zealand, he was happy to pass on his Christmas message to his fans.
Christmas is all about togetherness, and for us to celebrate, we don't have to look for something like drinking beer and stuff, because sometimes it might distract and it might cause something that you might regret later. So first, the Christmas is the day where Big Man Domibla am born. So to celebrate that, do away with beer and all those unnecessary things. It's better you go back to your family, your loved ones, sit together and enjoy the festive season and look forward to the new year.
Kuri performed some of his top songs such as Lewa, Life Ino Isi Mo, Susa Lewa and others. Tavin Tuni and other artists also sang their top hits to keep the crowd entertained as families gathered to enjoy the day. Local artist, singer and songwriter Malmaninga Kuri, who continue to amaze his fans around the country, says his plans for 2023 are looking promising. Kuri says he's looking forward to releasing a new single. He has collaborations planned with other international artists and a tour to promote his music in Australia and New Zealand. In an exclusive interview with MTV, Kuri said he has big plans for next year where he will release a new single, something he says will get his fans talking in 2023.
I'm very excited about to announce a new album coming up. It's all about promoting and advocating GDV, violence against women and children, and as well as men. And also try to do awareness for killing unnecessarily, and also about election-related killing and fighting back in my village, my province.
He said in 2023 he is looking forward to collaborating with another artist and singer-songwriter from Solomon Islands, Young Dave.
I've already talked to one of the first song that I'm planning and thinking of doing is with Young Davy from Solomon Islands, who will also perform today, and we are planning on doing a collab.
Having won the hearts of many with his songs Lewa, Cree, Lewa Susa, Lai Femino Isi, and Lewa Blongmi, the singer-songwriter is planning his international tour to Australia and New Zealand.
And I'm doing a tour early this year, which we are not ready for the date, which we did not confirm yet, but I'm doing a Queensland tour and as well as New Zealand and hopefully other Pacific Melanesian countries.
His message to up-and-coming young musicians in the country is to never give up and persevere.
This country is a colorful nation which have different color, different races of people living in one country, but we have been provincializing and regionalizing ourselves all these years. Our cultures, there's so many cultures, so we have been, those are the differences that we need to stop, and we need to come together as one Papua New Guinea and unite and do music together and promote our culture and tourism in our country.
Morobe Governor Luta Wenge has urged all Morobians and citizens of Morobe to celebrate this Christmas with a good heart in remembrance of Jesus Christ. In his Christmas speech yesterday morning, Governor Wenge appealed to everyone in the province to unite together and reflect on Christmas.
Governor Luther Wenge said Christmas is a time to spend with families and must be celebrated happily at home together with loved ones. He appealed to everyone in the province not to get involved in fights and other law and order issues during this period. Governor Wenge explained that the province, especially the provincial capital Lae, is going through a lot of developments, and every citizen must change their bad behavior and embrace changes that are taking place.
Passing brother, passing sister, passing family, passing Christian and master. The mere pilgrim you long. You may ogada long Morobe province. Don't think him this planet stuff. Minute coming long area one you play you play stop line. Low settlement, low villages, long whenever corner you stop line. Minute of come to celebrate one time you long this time. That's what Milakim to promise one time you play them. Long lewa Mr. one time you play.
Meanwhile, liquor ban has been imposed in the province, which started on the 19th of this month and will go through until the 31st of January 2023. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. With only hours to go before December 25th, and residents of Port Moresby City were out and about doing last-minute grocery shopping and marketing for Christmas Day tomorrow. MTV took to the streets of the nation's capital this afternoon to see most busy suburbs empty. However, major shopping centres were packed with last-minute shoppers.
At about 4 o'clock this afternoon, most busy streets were almost empty, with only a few people on the streets. EMTV News visited some main suburbs, including Waigani Central and downtown Port Moresby. Some of the main shopping centers were very busy, catering for last-minute shoppers. Downtown Port Moresby saw very few people, with only those on duty manning their locations. Those who wanted to travel to their villages for the long weekend were still waiting for PMVs as of 5 this afternoon. It was a somewhat quiet afternoon on Christmas Eve in the nation's capital. As Christmas Day is tomorrow, everyone is gearing up to spend the day with loved ones. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
And moving to overseas news now, and French police are investigating whether a shooting attack that killed 3 Kadesh people in Paris was racially motivated.
Racially motivated attack, and that's united Paris's Kurdish community not only in grief but also in anger. 2 men and a woman were killed in an attack on a Kurdish cafe and cultural centre in central Paris. Witnesses report hearing up to 8 gunshots, and they say that the shooter was detained within 15 minutes. Now, members of this predominantly Kurdish neighbourhood were told to stay away from the scene, but they turned out in their dozens. They lined the police cordon, and emotions really boiled over when they eventually broke through that police tape and they had violent clashes with police. Now, riot police fired tear gas in an attempt to dispel the crowd. However, we believe that they're still on the streets now into the night, and we've seen vision come through of fires that have been lit in the middle of the road. So there are really high emotions within this community. People say that they're shocked at the killings, and they believe that they were specifically targeted because it is a predominantly Kurdish community. Here's what a few of those residents had to say.
They didn't come here for nothing. He chose a location where there is the Kurdish community.
I am shocked and in immense mourning for the dead, for those in hospital, for public health and for the neighbourhood.
Everyone is angry. Everyone is angry.
The devastated nation is being brought before its knees by its 40 years of drought.
A nervous mother watches on as doctors examine her emaciated son. She's one of dozens of women from outlying villages who show up with starving children at this clinic every week.
The people will die, and if the situation continues like this, it could be possible to famine, and that will be more tragedy.
Dr. Walia has seen a swell in new arrivals over the last few months, as drought, driven by climate change, has seared the landscape.
This one is the serious one, so all complicated cases we admit here. So let us look inside.
This child is so severely malnourished, it's developed a condition called edema.
And he have a swelling on both legs, hand and face, even the abdomen.
Another woman, Shanae, made the 65-kilometre journey on foot to get help for her sick son.
I would like my child to be able to grow up. If he survives this, then I will survive too.
Across Somalia, the worst drought in half a century is causing catastrophic hunger as crops fail and livestock perish. Hundreds of thousands of people are being driven to starvation, and a famine now looms.
More than 100 million people in the United States are under extreme weather alerts as temperatures in some areas are predicted to drop to as low as minus 45 degrees.
America's peak travel season hit by a once-in-a-generation storm. 2 days before Christmas, 2/3 of the country are now under extreme winter weather alerts, stretching from here on the Canadian border all the way to Florida. On airport runways, planes have been replaced by de-icing trucks.
We're out here, period. I mean, we'll be out here until it stops snowing, really.
Leading to thousands of cancelled flights, with the city of Chicago the worst hit.
flustered. We're trying to search on our phones, figure out other routes, maybe even taking a bus from here to Atlanta, which it'll take us about 21 hours, so that's really inconvenient, but anything we can do just to get there, what we're going to do.
Once-in-a-generation bomb cyclone is actually causing temperatures to plummet.
On the US networks, there's talk of little else. The term bomb cyclone describes a drop in pressure of 24 millibars in 24 hours. Whatever you call it, the risks are clear, exacerbated by the strong desire to travel at this time of year.
All of those things coming together, I think, make a very dangerous situation. People normally expect to be with family and friends. And I know every family is going through those calculations now.
The storm's expected to last through the weekend. After the years of COVID, millions of Americans face another disrupted Christmas.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The annual NCD Governors Cup preseason competition was officially launched today at the Annex building in Port Moresby. They saw the official takeover of the cup from last season premiers, the Erima Jokers, to the Governors Cup Tournament Committee.
The launching commenced with the Master of Ceremony, Peter Y, welcoming on board invited guests and the tournament committee. Despite the governor's current situation, the tournament will proceed with a competition for season 2022 to 2023. Representing NCD Governor's Office to read through his forward message was Project Officer Boni Hative.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to another year of the NCD Governor's Cup Rugby League Tournament. I believe you all are well prepared and ready to take up the greatest cup challenge with the cash prizes up for grabs. This tournament will be going into its 15th year, and I am proud for its continuity and expansion. In terms of teams' participation, despite the many challenges we face in ensuring a successful competition.
The newly appointed tournament director, Doga Rarura, acknowledged the teams for showing interest to participate in this year's competition and encouraged the 48 clubs to uphold the flagship of the tournament throughout the competition.
Let us all enjoy a violence-free tournament and stop all forms of violence. Sports is a game of winning and losing. Sometimes, we always want to win, but we have to accept defeat at the same time. So let us be mindful of being a better sportsman without having to show any violence during the tournament. Let's accept whatever comes.
After the speeches of the invited guests, the program ended with the official takeover of the cup from last year's defending premiers, the Erima Jokers, over to the tournament committee, followed by the official photo shoot for the 48 participating clubs. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
The Governors Cup official kickoff will be on Tuesday, the 27th of December 2022 at the Connie Tigers Rugby League Oval. This statement was made by NCD Governors Cup Tournament Director Doga Rarura following the official launching of the Cup today.
A total of 48 clubs will be competing in this year's Governors Cup. Among these clubs, 2 clubs are made up of women. These 48 teams are placed in 8 pools, and the 4 venues will be fielding 2 pools each throughout the tournament. Tournament Director Dago Rarura gave a highlight of how the games will be competed throughout this year's off-season competition.
48 teams, we place them in 8 pools. Each venue will be playing, will be filled in 2 pools each. And then it will take at least 3 days for the round-robin competitions to go on. the games to go on. For the first week, we will have after we finish the round robin games in the first week, then we will break for the weekend, and then after New Year's Day, starting Monday, we will proceed with the quarterfinals, and then into the major semi-final. And we anticipate on having the grand final on the first Sunday of the new year.
The tournament will be competed at 4 different venues. They are the Sir Hubert Mary Stadium, the Hohola EP Park, the Waiganikoni Tigers Rugby Oval, and the Bomana Red Sea Oval. Meanwhile, the tournament will officially kick off come next Tuesday at the Koni Tigers Rugby Oval. Lisa Puni, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
You're watching Chukai Sports. In overseas sports, in NBL, the Melbourne United beat the Cairns Taipans 84-81.
And for the crowd at John Cain Arena, and it was Melbourne United who ended up winning in front of over 10,000 fans with that roof open there. They were too strong for the Cairns Taipans, who've been excellent this season. This loss, though, moves them back into 4th position on the ladder. 84-81 it finished. Ray John Tucker with 27 points for United in the end. United in 8th position, 9 wins and 11 losses for a team that's always up in that top 4 or 5.
In cricket, the Brisbane Heat took on the Adelaide Strikers in an exciting match which saw the Strikers lose their first match of the season.
Still sit on top of the competition ladder, but a 6-run loss here to the Heat, who managed 9 for 166 from their innings. Sam Billings, 79 from him, 46 from Max Bryant. A decent total on this pitch, but certainly was achievable from the opposition, but they couldn't get there after their 20 overs, 9 for 160. Mark Steckity with 4 wickets, resigning the Strikers to their first loss. Elsewhere, the Perth Scorchers beat the Melbourne Stars by 61 runs.
That ends Chukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly cloudy with few evening showers. Daru partly cloudy. Kerema partly cloudy with few afternoon showers. Alatau mostly fine. Popondetta partly cloudy with few showers. In the Momase region, Lae partly cloudy with few afternoon showers. Medang cloudy periods with brief showers. Wewak mostly cloudy with few afternoon showers. Vanimo mostly cloudy with few afternoon showers and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kavieng, cloudy periods with some rain showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, some afternoon, evening showers and thunderstorm. Kimbe, some showers and evening showers with thunderstorm. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers and thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka and Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with some rain showers and thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 24th of December 2022. From the entire news team, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.